Maybe I'm a little bit late with this, but it cannot help as we are being thrown into a very heavy fan service episode of High School DXD. Episode, what is it? Is it 9 perhaps? Or is it 8? Well, maybe it's 8. So, yeah, maybe it's 8. Well, whatever. My point is that they actually pulled one scene that I never really thought they would do. Because it was very close to softcore. But then again, High School DxD has always been softcore. But that scene, ooh, you really did that, huh? That's nice. But either way, in this episode, it's the preparations in order for the battle against Cyborg. The Angry Anime fan here to give you the summary and the little reviews of this episode. The Grimori family are all practicing hard to train and hopefully surpass Cyborg. In a press conference, Rias makes sure that they will defeat him, but gets constantly embarrassed when the reporters begins to mention about the Oppai dragons, pressing the switch there and there. Other than that, though, this episode mostly has a very emotional tone to it, although the emotion does disappears a little bit during the, you know, etchy scenes. But here, Rias begins to show a very vulnerable side to Issei, as it's always been clear that Rias has loved Issei since he spared her from that marriage she didn't want to have. Still, though, it's never really been sure how deep Rias's feelings are for Issei, but this episode makes it perfectly clear that her feelings for him are extremely deep. But she feels very conflicted of the fact that Issei just sees her as the president of the occult club, not as Rias. In the episode 1 or was it 2? Maybe it was 1. I'm not talking about the recap episode then. Issei once mentioned that just once he would like to say Rias's name, but he feels like he has no right to do that. And he's also a little bit emotionally conflicted given the first girlfriend he tried to have murdered him. He feels a little bit conflicted. So during one scene in a sauna, Rias appears before him naked and pushes herself on top of him and gives him a very powerful French kiss. And that, my friends, that's the most rancid scene in the entire High School DxD so far. I mean, nudity has never been anything new, but that was close to a sex scene. Never thought they would go that far. Shows just how naive I am, right? I like that. Unfortunate. Well, maybe it's not so unfortunate, but as Issei talks about how magical this is, the scene doesn't really happen though because Rias feels once again conflicted when even in that scene Issei yes says her president calls her president. Later episode, later in the episode, Azazel as their advisor mentions the cyborg's advisor for this battle is none other than Diehauser Bael. No, sorry. Diehauser Belial. How do you say his last name? Who is revealed to be the rating game champion, the best of the best, the undefeated master of them all. No one has ever defeated him. He is the advisor to Cyborg, meaning that he has pretty high hopes for Cyborg. So we see some glimpses of Cyborg's team, who, as it reveals, are also devils that are similar to the Gremory family. They come from different backgrounds, and unlike many devils, they actually train to become stronger. Possibly implying that since Cyborg was a man who didn't really have power but got power by training, he probably found people that had similar hardships in order to, give them a new purpose, so to speak. And then also we're introduced to a new character, Lady Phoenix, the mother of Ravel, who is also in this episode, showing her great strategic as she actually advises Risse about the cannons and the bishop moves. And Revel's mother, Lady Phoenix, looks a lot like her, except a little bit older, maybe a bigger chest, and I want to say only one drilled ponytail. Either way, she has. It's clear that from her daughter gets her polite way of talking. She mentions very much that she wishes Issei to protect Ravel, as well as if he ever becomes a high-ranking devil, she wants him to remember that Ravel is a free bishop. Clearly, she wants grandchildren and Ravel to join Issa's team should that time ever come. But when Issa says that he will protect Ravel, Rias suddenly gets a little bit more jealous as she asks Issa if he will protect her as well. And he says he will protect her as the president, but that just makes her sad. And all the other occult club members just scolds Issei for not realizing Rias's feelings. Deep down, it seems that Issei is afraid to admit the true feelings, or maybe he just can't because he's emotionally blocked. Either way, Rias wants Issei to protect Rias Gremory, the woman he loved, the woman he loves, not the president of the occult club and his master. Yes, the woman he loves, because it's clear that Issei loves Rias. It's just that he has a very hard time admitting that. But he will probably get a very large harem. That's basically this episode. All in all, some emotion there and there, but the biggest thing was, of course, that fan service scene. Man, never thought they would do that. Shows what I know. Again, I had to repeat that. But you give me your thoughts if you have any. What were your favorite moments? The favorite moment for this one, for me, wasn't exactly that nude scene, unfortunately. Even though it was good, it was more of the fact that I got to see Lady Phoenix. Man, she is beautiful. I like Ravel a lot. Give me your thoughts now if you have any.